Hey everybody, Mr. Movie37 here, bringing you a new episode of Gaming Breakdown. And today we're covering the Sony PlayStation Portable, Sony's real first entry into the handheld scene. Although it's technically second, they had the little pocket station thingamabob before this, but the PSP is really where it's at. Now this thing is pretty much tied with the Game Boy Advance SP for being my overall favorite handheld, and I can pretty much go back and forth between them because they're both really, really good systems. Although, if I had to be completely honest, I think I would give it to the PSP a little bit more because for me, you guys know I love RPGs, and this thing is an RPG monster. There are a ton of RPGs for this game, for the system, which I'll be going over as many as I can in this video. I could go on for hours about all of them if I really wanted to. But I want to keep this to a semi-reasonable length, so let's get into some of the, facts of the PSP first. As per usual, I have some notes handy on my phone right here to make things, more professional because, you know me, I'm Mr. Professional. I try to be sometimes, anyway. But, PSP first released in Japan, as per always, December 12th, 2004, followed by North America's release in March 24th, 2005, and then came out in Europe September 1st, 2005. So this thing's already been around for 10 plus years, and I've had one of them for pretty much that long. The cool story, I've probably told this before, at least maybe on my old channel, but maybe not on this one yet. I got my PSP, I bought it off my friend Zach years ago. For like $30, I got the PSP 1000. It was the base model back then, the original one. A 1 gig memory stick, and Grand Theft Auto. I forget which game it actually was, but yeah, all that for $30 back then. I mean, he never used the thing really anymore anyway, so I really couldn't pass that up. And since then, yeah, my old PSP is kind of dead, unfortunately. But I have since upgraded to a slimmer model. I think it's the either 2000 or 3000 model. I forget. It's the black and red. It's a black and red one. And I've also picked up a 2 gig memory stick and also a 16 gig memory stick for it because there's a lot of games on PSN that I tend to buy for like older PS1 titles just to have there. And plus, you really can't fit a whole lot on the 1 and 2 gig, so the 16 one was definitely worth it in my opinion. But yeah, this thing, yeah, worldwide, as of November 2013, it sold rounded up to 82 million units. That is a lot, to say the least. And I've chipped in with that myself. And yeah, this thing, not only with RPGs, it has a fantastic library all around. I'll probably more so focus on the RPGs because, again, that's what I mostly play. But I will go over some other games too, of course. And yeah, this picture here is only a very small sample of what the PSP has to offer, and that's just only on the front of games. This thing was also a media machine too, being able to connect to the internet and also like its own like mobile TV service and stuff like that, music services and all that. So this thing was an all round system back then, and for it being around in like 2004 2005, for this thing to do everything it did was pretty incredible back in the day. Nowadays, it's more so the standard of what like handheld technology really is, like with smartphones and tablets and all that stuff there. But yeah, back then this thing was pretty damn incredible, and just about every game on here had fantastic graphics. This thing was able to put out some very high quality footage with its system and all that. Anything else I need to go over? Oh, I guess I can go over a little bit more of the other models here. I already did though, didn't I? Well, anyway, yeah, the PSP 1000 model was the original one, and then it was followed by the 2000 model and also the 3000 model. Also the PSP Go, which was I think an even slimmer model than that even. I mean, the PSP wasn't that big to begin with, although the original model was thicker, I will say. But besides that, yeah, the other ones are a lot thinner. So there's that. And now onto the actual games themselves. And let's go ahead and jump right into RPGs. You can see a few of them here already. Final Fantasy Tactics: The War of the Lion, Jean d'Arc, Persona 3 up there. That's only a few. There were a ton of Final Fantasy games made for this thing. Besides Tactics, Final Fantasy 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 were all remade for this thing with updated graphics and new content and all that. Although I will say, like with Final Fantasy 1 and 2, their stuff was already on the GBA beforehand, so it was just ported over to the PSP. Although there is new content in excuse me, unique content for the PSP versions of Final Fantasy 1 and 2 with some new dungeons there, so that's pretty cool there. Excuse me. Sorry about that. And get Final Fantasy 3. I don't think it has a physical PSP release, not that I recall. You are able to buy it on PSN, so there's that. And the Final Fantasy 4 The Complete Collection, one of my favorite PSP games pretty much ever. Because, well, for brand new, it came out for $30. And not only that, you got a hell of a deal with it. You got the full game of Final Fantasy 4, Final Fantasy 4 The Interlude, which is a little bridge of gameplay between Final Fantasy 4 and the After Years, and then also every episode of Final Fantasy 4 The After Years. So yeah, all that for $30 was a hell of a deal. That was when it came out brand new, because yeah, I bought that shortly after it came out, and I could not pass that deal up. It was fucking crazy. But yeah, there's also the Dissidia Final Fantasy games, the first one, and then 012 Duodecim. So yeah, there's Final Fantasy mixed with like fighting style games there. Both of those are really, really fun. I've only delved into them. I've only scratched the surface of them. Really, there's a lot you can do in those games with how many characters there are available, both for heroes and villains that are playable. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to unlock, lots to do, and hell, I would like to try to maybe LP those at some point in the future, but we'll get to that at a later date. Another special mention, Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core, being the precursor to the original Final Fantasy VII. Story-wise, I believe it is. I can never remember. It's like 8 or 10 years before Final Fantasy VII. I should probably look that up a little bit more because I'm gonna LP that game before too long after I finish Final Fantasy V. But anyway, yeah, action style RPG. You're able to control Zack, be able to see his story throughout him becoming a soldier, and then you see him. Well, at the end of the game, I don't want to spoil it, but then you're able to see also how Cloud. Well, I don't want to spoil Seven as well, but you're able to see how Cloud came to be in Soldier as well. So that damn good game right there. Probably one of the best games on the PSP in general, in my opinion. Another great one, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. Now, I've seen this game get a lot of flack, actually, which I really don't know why, to be honest. I think it's a really, really good game. The story, well, it's Kingdom Hearts, what the hell do you expect? That story is just, it's completely out there. But yeah, the main part I liked about it is the gameplay. You're able to control three characters, Terra, Ventus, and Aqua. They each have their own separate stories which intertwine throughout the way. But my personal favorite part about that is training in that game, actually. With it being an action RPG, you're more involved in the combat and everything, as most with every Kingdom Hearts game, really. But the cool thing is, you're able to you have your own command deck that you're able to use, say with attacks like sliding dash or fire or cure or what have you, what have you. Later on, you're able to meld commands together with certain crystals to give you not only new abilities, but also, well, new attacks to use, but also new abilities to equip as well. They're two different things there, really. Yeah, it's so easy to be overpowered in that game. What my brother and I generally do, after like the second or third world, we're able to make some of the really, really high-end powerful commands, like Mega Flare for Ventus. Having that in like the third world of the game, that one-shots pretty much anything you fight, so it makes it so damn easy to level up. Because not only do you level up, your commands do as well, and they get stronger over time. And when you're able to wipe out an entire field of enemies with just one Mega Flare, that makes training super, super easy there. What else? I think I've went over enough RPGs here for right now. Let's go over to some other games here. I actually do have a couple first-person shooters for this one. Well, I'm not sure where they are now. I had Medal of Honor 1 and 2. I think Medal of Honor Heroes, it was called, I believe. Yeah, I picked it up just on a whim, actually, a while back. The campaign is pretty solid. It actually had good multiplayer as well. I couldn't really do anything online with it at the time. But what I always did was just a game against AI bots. Myself, and I think you could do either like 7 others, or maybe 10 or 12 or 16. I forget exactly. But one of my favorite maps to do on there was an airport hangar. I mean, you had, well, of course, you had the hangar itself, and also like underground areas, big outdoor areas, all that stuff there. So it was a really fun map. That was pretty much my go-to map on that game. And I always went with the good old M1 Garand, or Garand, however you pronounce that. That's like such a badass gun. I love it. Yeah, that thing was a mainstay in some of the earlier Call of Duty games and all that, like 1, 2, and 3. and of course Medal of Honor as well. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Oh yeah, couple. Well, back to RPGs. Bit surprised there. Lunar Silver Star Harmony, the PSP remake of Silver Star Story Complete. Yeah, bit surprised. Silver Star Story has been remade again. I'm just teasing when I say that, but I do find it kind of funny how that game's been remade so often, whereas Lunar 2's only been remade once. Yeah, it's all legal issues, I think, actually. So I totally understand why. So, but yeah, the PSP remake of Silver Star Story Complete. My favorite part about that has to be the music. Far and away, the music. It is so damn good. It was good in the PS1 version as is, but it sounds so much better on the PSP, in my opinion. Especially the last area of the game, Althena's Fortress. I cranked the music. Hey, you two, stop it. Now, you can guess who that was, who made that sound if you heard it. But yeah, when I play it on either my PSP or my Vita, you're able to buy the game digitally on PSN, by the way. I had the volume pretty much cranked to max on that and just sit back and enjoy it for a while. It's so good. I love it. So what else? Oh yeah, another mention I want to say here. This game I have not played that much. I've heard it's very good though. Tactics Odor Let Us Cling Together. That's the PSP remake of the original game that was on N64, I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was. I never played the original game, so I don't recall for sure. But it's pretty much just like Tactics in a way, with its strategy RPG stuff there. Um, Unfortunately, I don't really know much about it otherwise. I really wish I did because I have heard the game is pretty damn phenomenal. I'll have to play that again sometime, either on my hard copy of the game or just getting a copy of a ROM for it, but whatever. Yeah, I've only scratched the surface on games that this thing has. I mean, like I've been saying for pretty much every other system I've done so far, this thing has something for everybody. I mean, of course, yeah, the RPGs, the first-person shooters, action games, action adventure, for arcade, puzzle, trivia, you name it, this thing has it, and then some. Something else here too, at least on the picture I want to mention here. God of War Chains of Olympus. I have not played any of the God of War games, but I've heard that one is actually one of the better ones in the series. Although I've heard, well, all three games in the series are really, really good. Um, we have, I think, two of them on the PS2, if I recall. It's been way too long. I can't remember for sure. But I do know we have a couple of them at least. And then also they have the God of War HD Collection that has all three games in one pack for the PS3 there. I wouldn't hate seeing a PS4 version of that or a new God of War game for the PS4. I mean, with how powerful that system is, you'd be able to make a damn great game with that, in my opinion. Is that everything I can go over? I think so, actually, yeah. Yeah, we're already at 13 minutes. That's pretty damn long, I would say. But I mean, in general, like I said to start the video here, this thing is such a great little system. Yeah, the precursor to the PS Vita, which I'll also do a episode of gaming breakdown on that in the future. I'm not sure when, but I'll get to it eventually. But yeah, this thing, if you love RPGs, in particular, this system is for you because it has something for. Well, it has like 647 RPGs for it, something like that. I might be exaggerating, but you get the idea. Okay, so that takes care of that, guys. Next episode, I'll be going over the Sinnoh starters, being Turtwig, Chimchar, and Piplup. And with that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. This has been Mr. Movies 87 signing off. Have a great day, and thanks for watching.